Hello. Hi. Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Ahmed, and what's yours?
Nice to meet you, Ahmed. My name is Jonathan. And where are you from?
Jonathan.
Hmm.
I'm from Iran. I'm from Iraq.
Iraq. Nice. And
Yes, thank you. Uh,
me, I'm from, but currently living in the Philippines. So, this are you new to Cambly?
yes, I'm new in Kabul. My name is Ahmed. I'm from Iraq. I'm teacher of English language, and I teach English in primary school for the
Hmm.
students from the sixth age and
Hmm.
12 age, and I
Hmm.
want to look for about the look for about the real plane to learn English. Is there real plane to learn English?
Hmm. So you're wanting to could you repeat the last part?
Is there real plane to learn English?
Real plane? Real plane?
Yes,
Could you
yes.
type that out? It's okay if you could type.
Huh?
Mhm. Okay, is there a plan to learn English? Yeah. Um, so for usually here on Cambly, there's different types of learning plans or learning paths that you can do. So some are basic conversation or basic, intermediate, advanced level conversation topics. In this type of learning plan, it's more of a little bit of grammar and speaking. Um, and there's also the mock exam learning paths. For me, I think the mock exams are the best learning path because uh, they really test grammar and
Is that
vocabulary. Hmm.
that link? Is that
Hmm.
uh, website to you talking about the website?
Oh, Cambly, Cambly. Or you're wanting,
Campbell?
hmm, hmm, or would you like to do, you're looking for lesson plans on English outside of Cambly?
Yes, absolutely.
Ah, okay, okay. I think a lot of people outside of Cambly they use Ingu because Ingu has different type of materials. I can actually I'll show you the materials here. It's really well developed in my opinion compared to Cambly lessons. Um, so here's the link. Um, in Ingu, they have different topics going from basic to beginner to advanced level. They go over grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, conversation, literature, as well as different speaking tests that you can
Where
choose
it's
from.
made this is this a British website to learn English or American or Australian or what? It's made of this website. Ingo.
Ingo, as I think it's a that's a good question. Ingo's company. Um, I think it's a I know it's used Japanese, but I'm unsure of the company background. I think it's might be American. I'm not sure. But what I do know is the material at least is in standard, so there's not necessarily any of the. Um, it looks
There's
American to me.
there's also I also speaking taste preparation.
Hmm. Yes, yes.
Yes, okay, okay. I
Um,
will browse this
hmm.
website later. Now I ask
Hmm.
you should to give me real advice for me, because as I
Hmm.
learn second language, how to
Hmm.
improve my English language, uh, by to speaking with the native speaker.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I don't have native speaker except Cambly and some friends from American, and
Hmm.
watch the film, watch the TV, watch the video
Hmm.
on YouTube, or to listen or watch. Or we
Hmm.
are in century 21, and there's a lot
Hmm.
of everything is modern, everything is development. Okay,
Hmm.
we can travel to the space by some months. There
Hmm.
look for about the real way to learn English, or just to still listening this and speaking, and to learn some idioms, read the story, or
Hmm.
read the sentences, vocabularies. Yes.
I, for me, in my opinion, I would say the best way to learn English is to always start with vocabulary. And the reason why is, let's say you go to a hospital, and if you're a native speaker and you go to a hospital and you say, "Doctor, my hand is hurting, I need help," the doctor would understand, correct? But if you don't know a lot of English, just like a little bit of English, and you go to a hospital and you say, "Doctor, hand hurt," just three words, no grammar, very limited vocabulary, but three words, the doctor would still understand. And the reason I'm telling this is because when you learn even just a little bit of vocabulary, it gives a lot of meaning to communicate. So for me, always the best way to learn English is constantly review vocabulary and memorize it. And there's a particular strategy of memorization because back in college, I was trying to find a research-based perspective of how to study, how to memorize, because some teachers will tell you one thing and another teacher will tell you something different, and I'm confused what's the best way. So I looked at some research papers about how humans memorize things, how you get information into the brain, and they said that the best way for memory to work is when you study something, take a break and then study it again and then take another break and do that three times. But your
Divide that.
break, mhm,
Divide
yes,
the.
yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes. Go
And
ahead.
they also said that when you divide the time, when you are taking a break, you do something you like or you enjoy, like watch TV, cook, read a book, browse social media. Just they say forget about what you learned because there's a problem when we try to memorize. We have two types of memory. One is short term, one is long term. And we want to put information in our long-term memory, but sometimes it's hard to tell what's the difference if we're sure that it's in our long term. Sometimes we think it's in our long term, but it's only in our short term. So to test if it is in our long-term memory, we have to do review, right? So like like card, we write down the word and then we write it in our language and then try to guess what does this word mean in a native language into English. When you guess, you are trying to recall. And what happens is when you look at a brain has wrinkles, right? It's very wrinkly. The the brain's connection, the cells, the brain cells, they have electrical impulses that go to each other. And when you do not memorize something, the electricity between the brain cells do not connect well. If you keep recalling the
That's
information, trying to make
that
yourself,
that
mhm,
that depends on the output and input
mhm,
language.
yeah,
Okay. What
yeah. So you
about
want
the.
to, you, mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you told me about the vocabulary, but I sometimes to read and save the vocabularies. It's
Mm-hmm.
for I sometimes because
Mm-hmm.
I live in Arabic country like Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
It's country and the native speaker with the Arabic language, and unfortunately I
Mm-hmm.
cannot speak English outside my home. I cannot
Mm-hmm.
speak English with the native with the people in street hospital, especially
Mm-hmm.
with the supervisor or some teacher.
Mm-hmm.
It's English language. If you don't use it, lose it, right?
Yeah, it's correct. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're.
That's
Yeah.
Iraqi trainer that say this article. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't use it, lose it. I can't to save my brain. It's lose it when you don't use this
Mm-hmm.
vocabulary. Should be to always you can say recycle for this vocabulary with the sentence and phrases, right?
Yes, yes. What you would want to do, especially like using Cambly, for example, is to try to find time to ask a tutor if you
How
can
long
practice.
How
Hmm.
long do you think use the Cambly to be fluent in English language? 6 months, 1 year?
That will depend on the people. I've met some students that were only on Cambly for 6 months. They became fluent. Some students who had been on Cambly for a year and they're a bit more slower. It really
Okay,
depends.
okay.
Mhm.
I
So,
think
mhm,
I spend time with you and I speak with you more than 10 minutes. And
mhm.
can you guess my or assessment my English language, bad, good,
Mhm.
or how much to give me from the 100%, 50, 40, 60%?
Mhm. I would say you're at 70% fluency because you have good vocabulary. There's some parts of
Thank you.
grammar that I think you should work on. The reason why is there sometimes you know the words. I can hear you say the correct words,
Yes,
but they get a little bit
yes.
mixed up in the order. And the other thing is pronunciation. Pronunciation to me, it's not as important as first vocabulary and grammar, but it's something to always work on, especially if you plan to go to another country and speak English and want to be understood easily. Um, so, for
Okay.
example, earlier,
Uh,
yeah. Hmm.
yes. We I read about simple. We
Hmm.
use the verb to be in the present simple with the fact,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, yes. For example,
Okay.
mhm,
Yes, go ahead.
yeah. So the one thing weird about the be verb, it's one of those words in English that's very strange because it's always changing. You can use it if you're talking about, for example, like I'm going to, or for, I'm going to be a father. That's one way you're going to use it as something that's going to happen in the future. But if you're going to use it in the present, the be turns into an am. So that's one of those words that you'll want to look at how it morphs depending on the tense or the situation.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's safe. Some vocabularies it's right, and
Send link to learning English, please.